Now who's your favorite uncle in the dean? Giving to see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a goofy t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah I mean. Hear ye, Taslim when you see me. Kick back, detach and scratch. Relax your mind, let your akal free. Be down with the sound of AYYTP. AYYTP, yeah, you know me. Amoo the podcast, the hockers will be broadcast. Dawa to your ear, hot and ready like a DoorDash. Or Uber Eats, lab mushkilab, my treat, cool. Now who's your favorite uncle in the dean? Giving to see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a goofy t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah I mean. Random topics, you stop, watch, we clock it. On to the next, what's poppin'? Redenbacher. Some vital issue, take it personal, then it is you. Just make dua to Allah that He fix you. Whomever He guides, none can lead astray. But if He don't, there's no way, not today. Last not least, the Muslim head shake. It's time to rise up awake. Our ummah's at stake, y'all. Now who's your favorite uncle in the dean? Giving to see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a goofy t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah I mean. Now who's your favorite uncle in the dean? Giving to see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a goofy t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah I mean. Hear ye, Taslim when you see me. Kick back, detach and scratch. Relax your mind, let your akal free. Be down with the sound of AYYTP. AYYTP, yeah you know me. Amoo the podcast, the hockers will be broadcast. Dawa to your ear, hot and ready like a DoorDash. Or Uber Eats, lab mushkilab, my treat, cool. Now who's your favorite uncle in the dean? Giving to see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a goofy t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah I mean. Random topics, you stop, watch, we clock it. On to the next, what's poppin'? Redenbacher. Some vital issue, take it personal, then it is you. Just make dua to Allah that He fix you. Whomever He guides, none can lead astray. But if He don't, there's no way, not today. Last not least, the Muslim head shake. It's time to rise up awake. Our ummah's at stake, y'all. Now who's your favorite uncle in the dean? Giving to see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a goofy t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah I mean. Now who's your favorite uncle in the dean? Giving to see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a goofy t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah I mean. Hear ye, Taslim when you see me. Kick back, detach and scratch. Relax your mind, let your akal free. Be down with the ooh yeah. Listen to it, baby. Random.
And here we go. We're live.
Assalamu alaikum, ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome to Amoo the podcast where we seek to cure the kufr infected by injecting the Islamic perspective, and you won't have any side effects.
What kind of laugh is that?
Come on.
What kind of laugh is that, man?
No, for real though.
Huh?
Assalamu alaikum, akhwan. We have Akhawain, excuse me.
Yeah,
I got in trouble last time, Akhawain. But I'm black, so what is he?
I'm checking something real quick. Yeah.
Subhanallah, these brothers, man.
Yeah. All right, good. Yeah.
Amoo Yusuf, our imported technical advisor, engineer, producer.
Oh yeah.
Without him, I'll still do it.
Yes,
I'll still
I gotta
do it.
teach you too. You know.
He can't stop it.
Ooh, yeah.
These sound effects, subhanallah. Are these sound effects halal? Next show, are these sound effects halal?
Of course, it's halal because it's made by a human being.
Okay. What about the double? Now we'll talk about
Don't
that.
even go there.
Our guest, Amoo Dion. Okay, Amoo Dion. Sisters, hey, sisters,
He's single,
sisters,
available.
Inshallah.
Yeah, he's
and
available. Yeah.
he has more than $40.
Yes. Do you have the $9 for the walima though?
I got about 25.
25. There.
25 for
Yeah.
walima,
Yeah.
more than 40 for the mahar. You can't go wrong.
Yeah.
So
That's
anyway, hey, today's show is serious. Random.
What's the random mean? What is that? What was that
I
about?
thought I went too fast.
No. He's good. Random is the fainting nurse. The fainting nurse.
Oh, you saw that video?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is a news report, a bona fide, certified news report showing healthcare workers taking the vaccine, being the first ones to take the vaccine. Okay, 17 minutes later, after taking the vaccine, the lady's being interviewed. After she gets the injection, 17 minutes later, she starts to touch her hair, which is a sign. Her eyes start to roll. She end up moving away from the dais of the podium, and she fell down, and they caught her before she totally collapsed.
Yeah.
Okay, she fell unconscious. She fainted. I think it was 3 cameramen from 3 different news organizations. 2 of them shut their cameras off, and one of them continued to film because he's a true journalist. You know, he continued to film, and this is crazy.
It's crazy, but you know, one of our brothers who is in the medical field, he basically said that it could be allergic reaction. We love that.
I think
it's possible, right?
Is that called side effect though?
Yeah. Side effect, yeah. But you know, let's say that's a possibility, right? But you know what's not funny is that when you posted it on Facebook, how in the heck Facebook said that this might mislead? Check the fact check, whatever.
Our fact checkers have determined that you are a Negro.
Yeah, like a crazy ninja, right? Mm-hmm. So my question is, like, how did the system detect that? Okay, let's say this could mislead.
The video was tagged from YouTube. The video was tagged.
Yeah, let's say it's going to mislead, but why can't you give us the counter?
Yeah. Give us the facts.
Yeah, because right now Facebook's acting like Saudi. Right? I mean, seriously, because they just want to censorship anything. Yep. So are you saying that people are too dumb to make their own critical thinking?
SubhanAllah.
Think about it.
You seen the video?
Yeah, I seen the video. A little bit of it. Not the whole thing.
Yeah.
I watched the whole thing.
You watched the whole thing?
I watched it so long she got back up.
All right.
No, but I mean, I had a brother, he was selling the vaccine to me. Yeah. But problem is he's the same brother that was trying to sell the FBI to me.
Oh, okay.
Not asking me to become a snitch. I mean, there's I got heard my life as a chess game with Big Slater, you know. Yeah. I said, ain't no rodents in my stable. Infrared capable, opposite Mr. Glass, unbreakable. You know what I'm saying? So you can't.
He's getting that.
You can't.
Right
well, I'm black, so I naturally.
Yeah. It's natural. You're born like that.
No, check it out. When I was born, the doctor hit me. I said,
right.
I ain't even cried normal. I cried with bars. Anyway, so here's the issue. The brother trying to tell me, oh, brother, it's this, it's that. It's not an actual virus. It's synthetic, or it's. I don't know what he was talking about. I'm like la in my head. Yeah. But he was talking, and he was trying to sell me the cure, the vaccine. I guess I can say vaccine, right? But I get banned. Yeah. Okay. He was trying to sell me the vaccine by saying, oh, it's harmless, no side effects. How can you possibly know? Yeah. It takes years for sometimes side effects to come. And one brother posted, 10 years from now, you're going to see ads saying, if you took the vaccine, contact us. Class action lawsuit. You know, people developing Bell's palsy and stuff like that. But we have a whole episode coming up about that, inshallah. Maybe next.
They came up with a cure in 1 year. That's pretty fast.
Not even a year.
Yeah, by 8 months.
Not even a year. Yeah, a few months, man. A few months. Yeah. Bill Gates said we're about to release a virus, pandemic, you know, and he said it. He said it. We're going to release it. It's going to come, you know, because he's testing kids in Africa with their charitable organization. Very philanthropic, you know. They really care about little Africans, and, you know, they love it. Little African. They love to test Coca-Cola there. They love to test medicinals there, toxic dumping, so on and so forth. They love testing on the underprivileged. So that's what we're dealing with.
But you also have to understand that in a system like this, these corporations that makes like billions of, especially Pfizer, they make like, I don't know, $50 billion or something like that. Man. They are not in the business of cure. They are in business of just, selling this drug, because if you find a cure, then you're going to be out of business. That's one thing. And secondly, if you look at, in general, I mean, we're not against medication. I mean, you have,
of course,
you have medication of all types. You have like natural, homeopathic, then you have the conventional.
Pause.
Pause. That's not the issue. The issue of these companies, how many times you've seen stories in the news that millions of people died because of this one so-called medication or opiate and whatnot. I mean, we see this all the time. Like they never focus on fixing the cause of the problem or the root of the problem. They only focus on dealing with the symptoms, and that's about it. So from the beginning, I don't have good trust with these companies anyway. Mm-hmm. So why would I trust them right away? Yeah. What is the logic in that, right?
But may Allah Ta'ala improve the condition of that nurse.
Yeah.
May Allah Ta'ala guide her to Islam, so she'll be like us, refusing to take it.
That's why, right?
She got it, and plus she's white, and if she if she accepts me as a husband. I will delete all of you.
Yeah. I'll help you too. Oh yeah. I'll help you. Like I'm a big supporter, man. Yeah, big supporter, man. Yeah. Find yourself a white woman.
Okay.
Not white woman, man.
This dude, man.
I'll take one.
SubhanAllah.
You take one? See? Give me one. There you go, my man.
Filtered or unfiltered?
Unfiltered.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, gotta be unfiltered.
Those are the best ones. Unfiltered.
Yeah, wallahi.
No. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Why not?
No, stop.
Okay. Just
moving along. What's popping?
Yes.
What's popping? The hot topic, okay? So, we'll get to the bottom of this.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know why you came about the topic.
Of African American culture.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Is African American culture a myth? And why does Amoo Yusuf come across as anti-black?
It's funny. I just sent this post to a lot of folks.
Okay.
One of the brothers says like, "Why you anti-black?" I'm like, dude, check the damn video right now and go live and find out.
And he cursed.
Yes.
Yeah. See, I say dang.
Yeah.
I be cursing. Yeah. I don't curse.
Sometimes I go back and forth.
No. See, I'll say it, but I don't really say it.
Yeah.
I'm like half Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
I'm like half Sam Jackson. Nisf Sam Jackson.
Yes.
Okay. So the myth of African American culture, I'm gonna start it with a question.
Okay.
Does African American culture exist, in your opinion?
Well, as a foreigner, okay, from other country, right, and to my limited knowledge and ignorance, I think it does.
You think African American culture exists?
The so-called African American culture in America, yeah.
Okay. How about you?
I think it does exist.
You think it exists?
Yeah,
okay.
I think it does exist.
Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you to define African American culture. You can define it, or you can give me examples of it.
My example gonna suck. Okay, it's gonna piss off a lot of people. Oh, this is the P word again. Oh my god.
D word, P word.
Yeah.
Okay, so
we gotta clean it up.
Yeah, we gotta clean it up.
What's wrong with me, man? I've been too Americanized.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right, too African Americanized, right? Yeah. My nickname is Tyrone. Yo, Tyrone been want a coffee. Yo, what's
Tyrone
up?
Yusuf.
Yo, what's up? Yeah. So the thing is, when I think of African American culture, I think about
been want a coffee.
The way. Honestly, when I think about African American culture, that the old school, family values, like whooping, raising
corporal punishment.
strong males, right, by the father figures.
A long time ago.
Yeah,
that can arm wrestle.
Yeah,
arm wrestle. Indigenous Africans from
there
Sudan with bigger muscles and beat them on video.
Yeah, I think about the history behind it, like Malcolm X and the history behind it. That's in the past,
Yes.
But when you look right now, like growing up in Mecca, when I used to look watch American movies, to me they were like basketball players, rappers, sports, and they have this unfortunately a lot of negative too. A lot of negative, like associated with like gangs and violence stuff like that. Growing up. That's what I've seen, right? Okay. But when I come to America, I see they have their own so-called.
And I have to say, in Bangladesh, they have the big cathode ray tube TVs, the real big ones with the stereo. And
right. Yeah, you never know, man. Yeah, well, actually,
they don't have flat screens like us.
Yeah, actually, in bondage, the most of them are into like metal and the rock and roll. So right. So then I think about like what is considered part of the celebration, like the Kwanzaa and all these things, and the type of so-called soul food and all the type of dance and music and hip hop.
So that's culture.
Unfortunately, that's what I got.
Okay.
It doesn't mean it's right, but that's what I've seen growing up. When I came here, that's what I've in terms of like how different they are. Even with the way they talk, the way their language, the way they communicate. You're laughing.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing, dude?
Yo, what's up? So would you say like you see in Bangladesh you would see like the worst of the stereotype?
When I was in Mecca, I mean, watch movies, right?
No, he visited Bangladesh.
Yeah, I was in Mecca for like 3 years. That's about it.
He's Saudi.
Yeah. I'm like fake Saudi. I hate that word, man. I'm not related to the royal family, so I'm from Mecca, Maccawi. Yeah, Maccawi. But again, that is you can say an ignorant way of viewing things because that's what I saw. But when I studied the history behind it, the movement, the revolution, and what they went through, stuff like that, that's something different. But nowadays it's a whole different thing right now. You know what I mean? But again, that's how I look at it. I don't know. It could be wrong, it could be right. I don't know. You tell me, Mr. Black Man. Man, I'm enjoying this. I'm gonna be dead today when I go outside.
Can you define it or define it differently, or you concur?
Yeah. I concur with what he said.
Well, you concur with this foreigner.
Yeah, foreigner. Imported.
Because we're smart.
Yeah. Imported.
That's how we do the IT stuff.
Okay, so what criticisms do you have of this African American culture that you define, that you describe?
What criticism? Well, let's say, as I'm speaking from the Islamic perspective, as a Muslim, I'm not talking about the non-Muslim. I'm talking about as a Muslim with the Muslim.
Okay.
When a Muslim identifies themselves as, I don't know, brown Muslim, Arab Muslim, Indonesian, even black or African, like, why do you have to put that before Islam or before Muslim itself? I do have a problem with that because I myself don't like when a brother's telling me, hey, let's go march for Palestinian. I'm like, dude, Al-Aqsa is a Muslim issue. It's not a Palestinian issue. That's tribalism. That's nationalism. In Islam, against nationalism. Islam is against. I mean, Muhammad Sallam. You know the story when Bilal ibn Rabah and
Abu Dhar.
When that situation happened. I mean, even Muhammad Sallam said, دعوها فإنها نتنة. The concept of, even if you think about the concept of patriotism, right? Mm-hmm. Tribalistic. You're not enlightened. You're just in a small group. Like this, you're not going above that group. You're protecting that group, right? Mm-hmm. So when you say, "Hey, I'm a white Muslim or I'm a black Muslim," well, Islam cannot be pro-black.
It's myopia. It's a nearsighted.
Nearsighted, yeah.
You can't see beyond your.
Yeah, it's a very nearsighted, and that's why it becomes tribalistic. That's why you have to define your tribe. So when you do this, white American or black Muslim or the brown Muslim or the Arab Muslim, all this actually bothers me.
Yeah.
Even when I know when you say American Muslim, that means you're from America. I understand that. But the fact you emphasize on that, I guess I'm not going to come to your conference because I'm Bengali, right? Or should I define myself as Bengali? Should I be just Muslim? One of the reasons that the capitalist or the secular, the kuffar system, that they're actually scared of the Muslim when they unite. Not unite in holding hands and unite in the ideology. Yeah. Why? Because Islamic ideology has no borders, man. Yeah. It has no nationality. It has no border. That's what scares them.
And can you imagine the Middle East, Africa, everybody not having no border and everybody coming together as under the deen, under one ummah?
Well, that's how it was.
Have you all seen the hourglass? Someone made from the Shabab. They made an hourglass of all of the flags of the Islamic nations.
Yeah.
Someone said there was an American flag. I remember the American flag.
I didn't see that.
Unless someone added it.
Yeah.
Okay. And all of them were going through an hourglass, and at the bottom of it was a liwa and a raya, the white and the black flags of Sunnah. Yeah. Okay, these flags, one representing the authority of the Khilafah, one representing the jihad. Okay, so they all melted down through the hourglass and became those two flags, which are actually from Islam and not considered, colonialist flags.
Yeah, when I studied Islamic history, I believe I'm part of it, even though I'm not from Baghdad. I'm not from Egypt. I'm not from Dimashq and all those areas Islam flourished. It's part of my Islamic history, even though I'm not part of it.
I feel the same.
But because the Aqidah, right? That's what connect us. And if you're going to say that I'm anti-black because Islam is not pro-black, then yeah, you can say I'm anti-black then. Because I'm not pro-black.
Well,
I'm not pro-white.
too then.
Yeah.
I'm anti-black.
Right.
Well, that only means I'll fight both of them after the podcast. I'll fight both of them. And
Right?
I'll take video, of course.
Yeah. But you see what I'm saying? See, this is why it bothered him because, and the intellectuals, the Western political intellectuals, they know this. That's why I highly recommend to read that book by Cheryl Bernard from the Rand Corporation that talks about civil democratic Islam, talking about how to divide the Muslim within American society. That's what they do, man. So why would I allow myself to do that? So when the racists are racist against you, then you create your own group, and instead of being elevated better than them, you're actually becoming like them now.
Yeah, parallel.
Right?
Parallel, yeah.
So you have to be better than them, right? Like, for example, I don't know should I use this example. Like in Saudi, they're very discriminated against non-Saudis, for example, right? And they treated my family horribly, correct? But if a Saudi brother comes here, I will still treat him like my brother.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lower myself to their level of discrimination and racism. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's why I have an issue with that topic, because I'm not denying, we shouldn't deny as Muslim, when we see the injustice to any human being, we should speak about it. Like what happens to the black community or the Muslim community here in America.
It's the oppressed.
It's the oppression, right?
Yeah,
we have to speak about it not from the Western narrative, but from the Islamic Aqidah narrative, right? We're going to make the statement, not them. For example, when I was in college, the opposing view subject, are you pro-abortion? I'm sorry, pro-choice or pro-life?
Yeah.
When the question came to me, I said neither. Like, what do you mean neither?
Exactly.
Well, even though pro-life might be close or similar to our closer, but I'm still not with them because Islam has its own definition.
Yeah.
Let me define that. And the teacher was like, wow, this is near perspective.
That's why when people say Muslims say I support Black Lives Matter, and I will say why, they say, well, didn't the Prophet support that? So Prophet had his own system.
Yeah.
He had his own mabda, his own ideology. It's called Islam.
Yeah.
So don't tell me to join the LBGTQPI, LBCD, EFG?
I don't know what
EFG? Oh, I thought he added EFG. So Elemento.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, that's African American culture. Elemento. But anyway, so don't ask me to join an organization that's anti-Islam or that is haram in order to support the oppressed. Islam has its own engine.
Exactly. And if you go to for example, BLM website, just go to the Abbas section.
Yeah.
Who is the founder? What they're trying to promote.
They put the double in the bubble.
And not just that, they're actually anti-family. Not just that, they're also anti-man.
Well, look, get off Black Lives Matter, man, because Black lives
matter.
They're dark.
When the brother was asking me, I hope he's live right now. I was joking with him because he was, trying to help the Black Muslim community and his T-shirt,
Gotta help
BLM, and he was selling us. Oh, that's a good idea. I'm gonna make all lives matter. Oh, bro, they cannot say that. 400 years of stuff.
But he wasn't even black, was he?
No, he was Arab. But he was a good brother, mashallah. Yeah, he was a good brother, mashallah.
They have really good intentions to help the oppressed, but they don't realize Islam shows us the way to help the oppressed. Islam has its own tariqah, has its own methodology, and we tend to put that aside. We tend to jump on what's trending. Okay, how do I help the oppressed based on what's trending, today and these days?
Absolutely. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Let's go to this real quick.
Yeah.
Can an African American black man, what have you, be racist?
I think they can.
You think so?
I think not all of them. I'm not saying all of them.
You can.
Okay.
Some.
Explain how you think.
Let me see. I'll let you go.
Oh, why me? You're the guest, man. You're the guest. Yeah, you're the guest, and I've seen it happen.
Well, they can be racist the same way a white person or Arab person can be racist. It's no difference because if I'm racist and I'm treating you the wrong way just because you're this color, I'm the same thing. As a white person.
Let's say, just for clarity, for our audience, discriminatory, prejudice, racist, are they the same? Or are you grouping them together?
No,
are we dealing just with racists?
One thing,
are we dealing with racists?
This system does have things set up in place to where, it is systematic racism, and I don't think right now a black person can be systematically racist.
Correct. That's correct. Because, that's correct.
Black people are not in charge of the system.
Correct.
Yes. They don't have the power, so we can't do that. But we can have our personal bias.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not all. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Not all, but because I've seen people like, hey, like the wife, this and that, not hang with them, not get married, them, whatever. Then I've seen even stuff like that video that I should have sent you, right? Yeah. Where this white sister and a black sister, right? And the white sister said that if you're white people or if you're like white Muslim, if you don't support the black cause, and you should get out of here. I'm like, why? That's not the Islamic approach.
It's because it's injustice. It's not because it's black. Right. The same thing could be happening to a white person, and I'm still speak out about it. If that was happening to them, I don't. It's not just because they're black.
It's just like in the restaurant. There's a video. I don't know if you all seen it. It's in the restaurant where Black Lives Matter people, black and white, were marching. They went inside this restaurant,
I saw that.
And they made everybody put your fist up. You support Black lives. Yeah. So everybody put their fist up. This one white lady refused to push it. I'm not putting my fist up. Yeah. I have no problem with black people, but I'm not putting my fist up. Yeah. You cannot compel me.
That was too black, right?
No, many. They're like,
it was a lot of them. But check it out though.
A lot of white people do.
Ironic. Hey, but peep this though. If I was there, now you brothers know me. I'm saying, if I was there, I would have jumped right on the white lady's side. Not that I want to marry her, but I do. I do.
I told you, man.
No. In all seriousness, I would have jumped on her side and said, leave her alone. Yeah. Because in Islam, when we see two parties, whether believers or not, and one party is oppressing the other, or one party is transgressing against the other, you have to step in and make peace between them. Now, when it comes to non-Muslims, a lot of situations we have choices. When it comes to Muslims, a lot of times we don't have a choice. We have to step in and make, even if we make khud'ah, even if we deceive, even if we lie to make peace between two Muslims, as long as that lie doesn't cause more problems. But that lie, for instance, oh, I heard you said something about me, let's go on the street and fight. And you say, look, brother, first of all, it's haram. We're not going to do that. Secondly, this brother, I know this brother, he's never said one bad thing about you. And you know this brother was talking about it. But let that be a warning for that brother. You know what I'm saying? Let that be a warning and a wake up for that brother. Hey, don't talk about him no more, Megan. Next time, let him whoop you. You know
right.
Next time, I'll let him whoop you. So, again, I would have stood for the oppressed. That white woman in that restaurant was being oppressed by these Black Lives Matter people. You know what I'm saying? And it's not right. It's not right. If the person doesn't support your cause, move on. Everybody's not going to support your cause. Should I be attacking everybody that doesn't like Islam?
Right.
I know Muslims I don't like.
Right.
I mean, they act worse than Kufar, man.
Of course.
They act worse than Kufar, and I'm like, I'm supposed to deal with that character?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And not just that. You remember the when the 9/11 thing happened, right? And how the media said all Muslims should apologize. I'm like, why should apologize for these bad people's action?
Oh man,
right?
I got one for that.
Right.
After 9/11, they invited me to this church. Right. This church was having a church built, so they had a few hundred congregation at this time, and they invited me to the good side of town. I mean, rich folks, right? So they invited me to this elementary school, and they had what's called a cafetorium. They had they have the stage, with the curtain in the cafeteria because the comes on the way that the chairs and tables fold where you can actually become seats to watch a play on stage.
Right.
So we were there and we were on stage, and the first thing the guy said to me, white guy, first thing he said to me after 9/11, they invited me to speak and interview and explain what Islam was. So first thing he says, would you like to apologize?
For what?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
My verbatim. I said, for what? He said, well, because of what happened. I said, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I say I didn't do it. It had nothing to do with Islam or Muslims.
Yeah.
I say apology shows guilt. Yeah. Even with Trump handing out these pardons.
That's a very good point.
When Trump handing out these pardons, these pre-pardons he's handing out, like Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
You have to admit you're guilty.
Yeah.
You have to admit you're guilty before you can be pardoned. If you are standing firm, I didn't do it, you can't be pardoned. You know what I'm saying? So again, I'm not going to admit guilt. Like I said, first of all, I can't fly a plane. The people you said flew the planes can't fly planes. They can't fly those planes.
Right.
They train on crop dusters.
Yeah.
And pilots for 9/11 Truth said, if you learn how to fly this plane, you'll never fly this plane. And you need coordinates to fly into a building. You can't just drive. You don't drive a plane, first of all. You can't drive into a building. that plane would have missed, came back around, missed again, came back around, maybe hit it the third time.
Yeah.
You have to have coordinates from a tower to tell you how to go into a building. I'm going to get off of that.
Yeah, another topic.
I think black people did that. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, you just stole from my mind, dude.
Yeah. So allow me. I've talked enough. I'm going to talk some more.
Yeah, I think you should really talk about, because here's another thing. Especially for the converts out there, doesn't matter, white convert, Asian, black. And I've seen this over the years being in this country. And that is that even when you convert, if you don't understand the Aqidah properly, I noticed that they're still stuck in the Jahiliyyah.
Yeah.
Right? We mentioned a few minutes ago that we
Jahiliyyah are the days before Islam.
Yes.
The days of ignorance.
And we talked about that. Look, we're not saying don't speak against oppression. Of course, we have to, but it's going to be everywhere. The Rohingyas, everywhere, not just here. Yeah. Right? So this is very important, but we have to basically understand the concept of the Aqidah and view things from that, right?
Well, a lot of these African American quote unquote imams are telling people, and have been telling people for years, stop worrying about the Muslims overseas, worry about our situation. And they would tell you to worry about black people here in this country before you be concerned about the Muslims abroad or overseas. And Muhammad SAW said, whoever wakes in the morning without the affairs of the Ummah on his mind is not of us.
Yeah,
you're not of the Ummah of Muhammad SAW if you're not concerned about the Muslims in Burma, the Uyghur Muslims, the Rohingya Muslims. If you're not concerned about that, if you're not concerned about the Muslims in Yemen, in Syria, and so on and so forth, then you're not of the Ummah of Muhammad SAW. You know what I'm saying? So I heard that the Jehovah's Witnesses are hiring.
Right.
Yeah. So moving on.
Okay. Because right now we did talk about to view things from the prism of Islam.
That's where we're at. That's where we're at now.
Right now. Yeah.
Everything must be viewed through the prism of Islam, from the Islamic viewpoint. Everything. As a Muslim, my aqidah, I have to view everything from the Islamic prism. This is called hadara. Hadara can be translated as culture. This is Islamic culture. It's the concepts that shape your viewpoint of life, how we view life. Okay? How we view life. If you are a Muslim and you don't have the proper aqidah, you're not going to view life correctly. You're not. You're going to say you're Muslim. You're going to indeed be Muslim in truth, but you won't have the proper aqidah. Why? Because you don't have the viewpoint of life that it takes to live an Islamic life. That means you'll fall into all of the pitfalls and the pit holes. You'll support organizations and movements that are not from Islam, that are anti-Islam, but you will find some good in it. Now, the way Islam works, let's say if a woman wanted to get in vitro fertilization, you know, she wanted to go and get some foreign sperm from a place and so on and so forth, and someone would say, well, she's not making zina because the double didn't go in the bubble. You know,
you can't saying that, man. You gotta stop with the double.
Okay, the pen did not go into the inkwell. Islamically, the head, the prepuce, you know, the head of the penis did not disappear. When the head of the penis disappears into the medusa, you know what I'm saying, then that means, can I say medusa? Okay, so that means,
you got my permission.
That's called jama'ah. That's called consummation.
Yeah.
So if that didn't happen, okay, they say, well, in vitro fertilization should be okay, or surrogate should be okay. Now, the way the mujtahideen, like I'm not mujtahid, but the way the mujtahideen do, they'll break down the processes. If they find something haram in that process, right?
Yeah.
And it cannot be extracted, then the whole process is batil. It's like if I offer you, if you like lemonade, I give you some lemonade. You like it tart, you like it sweet, however you like it, with ice, without ice, and I give you this cup of lemonade. I say, wait a minute, before you drink it, 1 drop of urine. Would you drink it? I say, no. You say, no, I won't. I say, look, but it's 10,000 lemonade.
Yeah.
Only 1 drop of urine, you wouldn't drink it. But we do that to Islam. We have Islam pure, like I say, like lemonade, but better than lemonade.
Yeah.
I like lemonade. I'm saying better than lemonade, but you like to drop your urine in Islam. You know, you like to drop your urine in Islam, and then you want to present it as Islam. So you say, well, support Black Lives Matter because it support Black lives. Actually, it doesn't. People that support Black Lives Matter can't even make children. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, the leaders of Black Lives Matter can't even produce children, not organically from how they live their lives. So if you say support Black Lives Matter because it is, forget about the homosexuality, which is against Islam, okay? I'm not saying, I don't have a personal dog in this fight. Yeah. It's against Islam. I'm a Muslim. I have to practice the Islamic hadara, embody it, Islamic culture, and that's how I view life. It's haram.
Yeah.
If I was a homosexual, I still have to say it's haram.
Yeah.
Okay? A'udhu billahi min dhalik. I still have to say it's haram, or I would leave the deen of Islam. That's the way Islam works. You don't like it. I hear that the Nation of Islam is also haram.
Like, who else is hiring, man?
Well, you got the Baptiste.
Hey, I think that's
my family is Baptiste. Hey,
Baptiste.
if any Baptists out there, my family's Baptiste. They're all. No, it's a family name. Family name. Wallahi. Okay.
Wallahi.
Baptiste. It's a family name. If you're a Baptiste, then you're my family. There's any white Baptiste? Okay.
You know what? The other thing is that we never, when we talk about the Aqidah of Islam, we never teach Islam as a mabda, which is an ideology, because you're living in the West. Of course, you've been raised through your whole life to think from a secular point of view, from democratic and whatever, all these man-made laws. So you view things based on that. But even feminism too. I mean, they view things from that ideology. So before you join somebody, join an organization, you need to check yourself, work on yourself, right? Check yourself, make sure, is this part of the Aqidah or not?
Are there any components that cannot be extracted from it where you can actually support it? People say, well, I'm going to support Biden because he'll kill less Muslims. You've just validated the death of Muslims. And Biden is a warmonger. Trump is not. So our siyasiyun from our respected ulama, not the sellouts. Yeah. You may not even know their names. Okay. Yeah. Our respected siyasiyun said that actually Trump would technically be better for the ummah. Trump would actually be better because he's not concentrating on murdering Muslims. He just want to get the bag. Trump want to get to the bag like sisters that, Hey, that's not the topic. That's not the topic.
Stop it. Hey, stop it. Okay. Go to the next one, man.
So, okay, Hadara. What is the other side of Hadara, or the opposite of it? Madaniya. Madaniya is the customs of the earth. The customs. The earth deals with customs and behaviors, with specific
location, and new region,
geography. Yeah. Some food is spicy, some food is not spicy. Why? Because spices are found. Yeah. Stuff like that. So anyway, that's Madaniya. Madaniya usually deals with some tangible thing. When you talk about earth, you're talking about different habits, customs, practices,
tradition.
Things like that. Yeah, traditions. Yeah. Okay. Madaniya deals usually with tangible things. So sometimes the Hadara or the Madaniya will cross into the Hadara, and the Hadara will cross into the Madaniya. Like for instance, when you go to Muslim lands, right? You'll notice that there's a huge courtyard around the house, and there's a husn. There's a 7 foot, whatever tall or higher, wall, usually cement wall, okay, made out of rock, and there's an iron door. You can't even get to the front door to ring the bell. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can't get to the front door to ring the bell and the woman can walk out uncovered. Unless you got a drone or something, you're trying to climb the wall, which is, your neck becomes halal. You try to climb that wall. That's just sunnah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So anyway, that's our hadara, our viewpoint of life made us build our homes a certain way. Okay, it made us build our homes a certain way that it will reflect our hadara.
Correct.
So the Hadara control, it overrode the Madaniya, which means we built our homes this way so our women cannot be viewed. Now, I go to Houston, Texas with my ex-wife. Yeah. We were married.
Okay.
So I don't just think we went to Houston, Texas while we were married.
I was about to catch you. I was about to catch you. In the bubber.
Okay.
So, dang, I said it too now.
Yeah.
See how the bad influence, man.
Yeah, I take that. Take that.
All right.
Puff daddy.
That's part of the culture. Hip hop.
Dubber and Bubber?
No, music.
Music.
What about music?
What about Dubber Bubber 2 music?
No, I don't want to go there.
Okay, there we go. So we go to her aunt's house, her aunt uncle's house in Houston, Texas, or right outside of Houston, close to Katy, I guess. So we pull up to this house, and it's massive.
Yeah, very nice.
Very nice.
Mashallah.
You pull up to the curb, and there's sidewalk. Then there's grass. Then there's the front door. And there's these massive windows. They have a great room when you first walk in. That big tall thing that you can never heat or cool. Yeah. It's really bad for engineer wise. It's really bad for efficiency. Yeah. So but it's beautiful. So you walk in, you see this big massive window. You see I'm getting Buffy Nibbles. Okay, so massive window, and it's like a bridge going across. So if you go from this room to the restroom, you have to go across this bridge in your night clothes. There's no curtain. There's no nothing. Basically, I'm saying the Kufar's Hadara is basically they don't have decency. They don't have a level of decency. That goes for all kuffar, no discrimination. You know what I'm saying? They have a level of decency based on their hadara that is below the Islamic one. Yeah. Okay, so they don't mind neighbors looking through their shubak. It's not even it's a glass. Shubak doesn't have a glass. It's just
window.
Opening.
Shubak means window.
Yeah, but it doesn't have a glass.
Right.
Technically.
Yeah.
They get that cool breeze in the morning. Mashallah. So anyway, so I'm saying they have this huge window. Now you could say their hadara is not decent because they're allowing people to look at their wives, look at their family and things like that. And it's just wide open with no curtains.
Yeah. And the other thing, mashallah, when you talk about the hadara Madaniya, Islam didn't come even to destroy other culture if it doesn't contradict. Like, he even praised the Romans too in some of the aspect, right? Yeah. But if you look at, let's say, Nigeria, for example, they have their own culture, right? A Nigerian Muslim, within their dress and tradition of clothing, they can be proper because they're implementing the Islamic.
I think we should stop using culture as a word.
Yeah, because English is not my first language.
I think we should start saying custom.
Custom, yes.
Customs.
You're right.
Custom.
You're right.
Yes. Because Islam has its own culture.
Correct.
Islam has its own culture. Islam has its own hadara, the concepts that shape our viewpoint of life. Islam has its own. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And the custom can adapt.
So you'll see a Chinese, a daughter of a Chinese man dress modest. Yep. And you'll see the daughter of an African American man dress modest. Yep. You'll see the daughter of an Indian man that's Muslim dress modest, so on and so forth. So and you say, what is the uniting factor there? Islam. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Yep. That is the uniting factor, and that's what brings them together. So we have hadara, the concepts that shape our viewpoint of life, and we have the Madaniyah, usually deal with tangible things like the henna. The henna was allowed. So it was pre-Islamic.
That would be a custom.
Yeah, it was pre-Islamic. Yeah. From the earth, and it was allowed even after Islam because it didn't have any shirk implications or history or practice behind it. So Prophet ﷺ allowed it, and other things that he allowed people from different customs to play music in the Eid and play music at the walima and things like that. He allowed this. Even in his own home, Aisha, another sister, banging on the drum, the duf, banging on the drum and singing songs. Yep. And Abu Bakr walks in and says, musical instruments of shaitan. Strong. Musical instruments of shaitan in the house of the messenger of Allah. Muhammad ﷺ rolls over because he had his back to them. He rolled up and said, Abu Bakr, leave them alone. Every nation has their Eid. This is ours. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, people that have a hard line stance, I'm against music. Listen to Drake. I'm against music. Listen to Kevin Gates. I'm against music. Put the double in the bubble.
Drake bin muflih.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's what we have. Now, the African American slave experience. What part does it play in African American culture? Like I haven't even given my opinion about if there's a culture, African American culture, but what part does the African American slave experience play into African American culture?
I'll let you go on that.
Well, I think it affects society where, they took the men kind of out of a position where like the women are the matriarch of everything. Yeah. So the women kind of run things in African American culture. It stems from back in that time. Yeah. So you lose a lot of the men leadership, and you see modern today where it's a lot of feminine, stuff going on. Emasculated. And I think it stems from that. So that's just one part of it. Some of the food that we eat comes from slavery. I don't know if that's culture or if that's customs. You know what I mean? But
some can I say some of them may probably directly or indirectly by design.
Okay.
And
by design, by design, because if you look at this, by design somehow got interjected in a sense. Mm-hmm. It's not something like if you look at other customs, they have a history behind it, right? Yeah. But this is more like
you're forced to eat certain things.
What do you think? Like,
well, first of all, the African American slave experience is very traumatic. Yeah. I've never been a slave. I'm one of them ones. You didn't want me on the plantation. I will kill you, your whole family. Yeah. I mean, I would murder you. That treatment. Yeah. You ain't got to beat me personally. You beat somebody else. Yeah. I'm gonna bust your head to the white meat. That's just the way I am, and I have receipts. You know what I'm saying, And I'm not saying I'm a bad person. I'm not, bad guy, tough guy. I'm not saying all of that. I'm saying that that's my mentality. I have receipts. I'm not going to deal with the oppression. I'm not going to deal with this and that. I'll slaughter your whole family. I don't care if I die. I literally don't care if I die. Actually, we'll talk about it one time about, my jahiliyyah, whatever. Maybe we'll do a thing on that.
Yeah.
But I got shot in my legs with a 12-gauge shotgun. I tried to run. I fell to the ground. Okay. The guy walked up to me and put the gun to my head. And the brother Hamid, if he's watching, he could verify this. I turned to him because he was near me. I said, "Run, blood, I'm dead. Run. Run, blood, I'm dead." And if you listen to the calm in my voice, it's amazing, the calm I had in my voice. I was living a lifestyle. I was hurting people. They were hurting me. And that's the lifestyle I was living, part of my African-American culture. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm living that lifestyle. And I turned to him in the calmest manner. No panic. I say, "Run, blood, I'm dead. Run." Like it's done. I wasn't broke. I wasn't hungry. I wasn't homeless. But, I had 3 girlfriends. I had whatever, right? I turned to him and said, "Run, blood, I'm dead," in the calmest voice you'll ever hear. That tells you I wasn't living right. I prefer death over life. Now I'm Muslim. I have a reason to live. Right?
Yeah.
And I still prefer death over life. Right?
You see that?
But guess what? Righteous.
Yes.
See? Righteous.
Yes.
I have to make a home in the hereafter. So I'm saying that with that mentality, I would have murdered the whole family and just, hey, I'm going to fight until y'all kill me. That's what's really going on. And like you were saying about the man not being in the home from the slavery, you saw the movie, what's that new movie, Jordan Peele, after Get Out? What's the one he came up with?
I can't remember, but
it's about Antebellum. Okay, Antebellum. There's a scene on there where the slave master walks up, and there's a little boy, a son, and a husband, and the wife picking cotton with other slaves, and he tells the black woman, "Hey, let's go in the shed." So he takes her into this little hut, this little shed, and she's screaming and she's crying. The son, like, look, man, like, damn, my heart, bro. The son looks up at his dad and say, "Dad, you gonna do something?"
Yeah.
All dad can do is die.
Yeah.
He can't do anything. All he can do is die. So
yeah.
I choose death. So he looks up at his dad and said, "Dad, can you do it?" I imagine my child looking at me like that, dude. And look, it's gonna be hell to pay. It's gonna be hell to pay. And in the same with, I ain't gonna make you guys slap them. Anyway, so the point is, they come back out. She's still in there. She traumatized. She ain't coming out. Come back out. He looking at his son. He turned to the slave master and said, "Hey man, whatever." He said something like really light like that. I forget the exact words. Slave master turned around, they're going, shot him. Just like that. Yeah. So we carry that today. It was a very traumatic experience. I never personally experienced it. It affects me today. I have some residual trauma. You know what I'm saying?
It carries on generation.
Yeah, but see, I'm Muslim.
Yeah, that should liberate you.
I'm Muslim,
yes.
So yeah, I don't like the injustice that's been done. I don't take it as an excuse for the behaviors that we see today. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I don't. That's not an excuse for the behaviors you see today. It is a reason, not an excuse. It's a reason, not an excuse. Meaning that, okay, I have a reason to be angry, but I don't have an excuse to lash. See that?
Yeah.
I have a reason to be angry, but that anger should be a motivation toward, look, let me go talk to these, like when I became Muslim, I wanted to, a lot of my old homies from the gang heard I was Muslim and went and took Shahada.
Yeah.
They went to Islamic service and studied and took Shahada. Okay. Some of them heard, same thing. If they heard I got into a fight or a riot in a prison, they would actually riot where they were.
Yeah.
If I was in some part of the jail, rioting, fighting, they heard I got into a fight, they would start a fight wherever they were. So when I became Muslim, they said, "Hey, let's go find out what that's about." You know? And that's the influence that I had on them. But the whole time I wanted to die because I was living not right.
Yeah.
I wasn't living right. Not miserable,
Yeah.
but not right, at the same time.
Yeah. And the thing is, when you took the Shahada, you became Muslim, again, you have this amazing thing called Islam, right?
Yeah.
That's supposed to liberate you and uplift you to a superhuman being, kind of, right?
Enlightened,
Right? Mm-hmm. Because at the same time, even though these reality existed and exist and all the situations, all the problems, you don't want to end up becoming or thinking like the victimhood mentality folks. Because those folks just blame and never change. At least you try to make some, you try to like, use the Islam to uplift others, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to be just sitting in the back and blaming all the time. Does that make sense? You gotta keep moving. You have to not forget the past. That's dangerous. You have to learn from the past, but at the same time, what do you call it? Like the elevation. I mean, I don't know how can I put it. Can I put Islam in there as a kryptonite? I mean, you have the superpower, man.
Yeah.
I mean, what else do you want? Like you basically when you're a Muslim, guess what? You're actually free, man.
Yeah.
Think about it, because you're not. There's a statement like you're the slave to what made man or what man made.
Yeah, exactly. It's the only choice.
Right?
It's the only choice.
Because if you're still in that Jahiliyyah or the Mammon ideologies, you're still stuck. You haven't completely freed yourself. But Islam freed you from that.
Because I feel like Islam freed me from all the so-called culture, right?
Yeah.
I may have some customs that remain, the way I dress, you know what I mean, the way I talk.
Very slick, yeah, I
you
can
know,
see that.
I'm kind of flossing, so I got a
Right.
style.
Yeah, very
but that's
slick.
part of the customs, you know what I'm saying? But,
Super fly, yeah.
but the culture, Islam, is going to free you of all that stuff, you know what I'm saying?
So the worst of the slave residue is Christianity. That's the worst of it. My mother had one of those old Bibles, old, onion paper, translucent paper, with the pictures. You had pictures in there, so you could see. If they say Lucifer or Beelzebub, you saw a picture of him, and stuff like that. And like I mentioned 1,000 times, every culture, every pagan culture, because Christianity is pagan culture. Yeah. Every pagan culture, when they made an idol, totem pole, statue, picture, whatever they made, drawing, painting, the idol always looked like the people that were constructing.
Yeah.
Wide nose, big lips, thin lips, pointed nose. Yeah. The
reflection.
The statue or the idol, the asnam, sanam, it would reflect what the people that were actually constructing it.
Yeah.
They like their eyebrows, they like their eyes, they like their skin tone, they like their lip size, their nose, the structure. They like that, right? Yeah. So they made their idol look like that. African Americans are the only ones that worship an idol that don't look nothing like them. They're the only one. That is that's why I say the worst residue of slavery is Christianity. Bruh, my family, they don't know this. They probably know now.
Yeah.
When they post, the Lord, something, and white Jesus, please come back, whatever they do, man. Like I feel crushed. I feel like intelligently and emotionally, like I feel like, man, I love them so much, man. And they just, whatever, man. It's like they be posting stuff. I like my nieces, man. I raised my nieces. I was a hardcore gangster on the streets.
Yeah.
But I had to be home some days at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock. I'm hard. I'm gangster. Bloodstone villain. I could throw the sign still. Okay? I'm that. Okay? Was that. Okay? Yeah. And I had to be home by 9 o'clock at night. I couldn't even roll the streets. I couldn't do drive-bys unless I do an early drive-by.
Yeah.
So you gotta be home.
Yeah. I had to be home at 9 as a hard gangster. Why? I had to take care of my I don't think Quarry was there. Okay, I took care of 2 nieces and a nephew. I had to change diapers, take care of them, make sure they were fed. I had to do all of that because they wouldn't sleep when my sister left for work.
Yeah.
She worked graveyard shift. I had to be there for my nieces and nephews. Hardcore gangster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, there's a soft side to all of it. I love my family. Yeah. I raised those nieces and nephews for quite a bit of time. They love me. Yeah. Ask them who their favorite uncle is. I don't care if my brother Joe listening. Ask them who their favorite uncle is. Okay? Yeah. So, favorite uncle in the dean. Amoo yum yum. So anyway, so what happened was I raised them, then they grow up and they say, Jesus this and the thank this, and I love Jesus alayhi salam. I love Jesus alayhi salam. I don't love the European doctored version that keeps people mentally shackled. I don't like that. So Christianity is like the worst slave residue. The slave master used to stand on the porch or had a chapel on his property where the slaves would go in on Sunday, listen to him tell them about God. reading Timothy and Corinthians about slave obey your master, and you should obey your master like you obey Christ. Why? Yeah, because he looked just like him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to disobey your slave master like you disobeying Christ. So if do you love Jesus? Yeah, well, pick that cotton, nigga.
Yeah.
Literally. If you love Jesus, pick that cotton. And black people are still holding on to Christianity. You know? It's sickening. It's sickening.
I'd add that Nation of Islam kind of in the 60s and 70s was kind of part of the culture a little bit. And I think now in this current 2000 space that the so-called Hebrew Israelites is kind of taking the Christianity spot.
But it didn't. The nation didn't take hold like mass. It didn't take a mass. People sympathize with them.
Yeah.
But to actually join and to sympathize is two different things.
Yeah.
But the Nation of Islam would probably be worse because it's having like flavoring of Islam and it's just falsehood. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Allah despises. This is what a lot of Muslims don't understand. You know, a lot of Muslims say, you know, we got a whole show about this, the whole podcast about this. The best kafir, the worst Muslim is better than the best kafir. I've been around worse Muslims. I've been around good kuffar. So we're going to discuss that one day. But the problem is this: Allah despises the hypocrite, the munafiq.
Yeah.
Is not the munafiq Muslim. You say no, aqidah wise, no. Islamically, not technically Muslim, but you cannot discount them from the ummah. So we have them amongst us. In kufis, you know, in thobes, in abayas, in hijab, you know, we have them amongst us. I've been around them. I've been reported to the FBI. You know, I've been around those hypocrite Muslims. And I've been around kuffar that called me after 9/11 that wanted to surround our whole masjid, make sure nobody touch us. Yeah. You know what I told them? Good white church. Know what I told them? I said, man, look. I said, we on the east side. I said, go over to the big Islamic center and help them. Yeah. I said, we're a small masjid on the east side.
Come on, Hayes.
Yeah. I said, if they come here, I said, we're going to light them up.
Oh, my God.
I said, we strapped. You know what I'm saying? We strapped over here. You know what I'm saying? So
you never know. Some of these Muslims could be agents too, you know.
Oh, no. I already know.
To be, yeah. You know.
Well, I'm going to say something.
Yeah.
I.
No, man. Stop it.
So anyway, I put out a feeler, a post, but is there such thing as African American culture? And many people opined, and what they basically did was they named certain. One sister, she eloquently kind of laid out what she wished African Americans would be. Strong fathers, strong family, protectors. You know,
actually, that's how it was too. In like, if you go back, like, I don't know, in the 40s and the 50s and the, I mean, they were.
You had, but guess what? See, it's like my son's mother.
Yeah,
we had a lot of opposition, especially from her stepdad, and my first wife was like a lot of opposition. So that made us come together. That's called wataniya. Yeah. That's patriotism.
Yeah.
You know, it's not even a bond of interest. That's patriotism, meaning that there's an outside element or force that is attacking you, which makes you huddle together. Okay, so we huddled together. We were tight. We were tight, man.
Yeah.
And then when and there were some sisters in the masjid that hated, or they would talk bad about my wife and all this kind of stuff. And we were good. We were tight. What made us start to? She started hanging with those same sisters.
Yeah.
When she was Muslim, new Muslim, she started. Those sisters were talking bad about her because they didn't like the second wife thing. First of all, then they were talking bad about her as an individual. Didn't know her from anyone.
Yeah.
She started keeping their company. I said, you don't do that, and I tried to pull, and that eventually I called it quits after 17 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that was part I could never get over. I couldn't get that part. I was like really, toxically masculine, and I couldn't. Look, I say don't hang with them. I say don't hang with them, and if you hang with them or sneak and hang with them and things like that, I felt emasculated.
Yeah,
I didn't feel like I. But I felt like that's part of my manhood. Don't. And even Abu Ahmed told us, said, look, don't this guy, don't challenge him. A man doesn't like to be challenged like that. A man likes the softer side, submissive side of a woman. That what melts a man. Yeah. And Abu Ahmed told her, man, that don't challenge him. because you're going to get the short side of the stick every time.
Yeah.
You know. So again, it's toxic. It's toxic in that particular perspective. But people opine, and she was talking about how things really should be, not how things are. And some households are like that.
Yeah. Why can't it be just Islamic?
Well, we'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there because it should be, as Muslim, it should be only Islamic.
Because Islam defines all the gender roles, the family, the structure, the manhood, and all that stuff.
And that's why people that say Islam is not a culture, when people say that, like, man, you haven't studied the deen.
Yeah.
Because if you study the deen, like he just mentioned, Islam covers every aspect of life.
Yeah.
Where does your thought pattern fit in that? Where does your personal likes and dislikes? Omar radiallahu an heard Muhammad sallam say, no one will believe until they love me more than they love anything and anyone, even themselves.
Yeah.
Omar said, well, Prophet, I love you more than anything, but not myself.
Yeah.
He said, well, then you'll never have true iman. You'll never have complete iman. Omar said, I love you more than I love myself. Dropped it. He dropped whatever he was on. He said, I love you more than I love myself. Like that. And you say, no, he faking, he fronting. Astaghfirullah.
Yeah.
Omar radiallahu an was not. Okay, he was not faking or fronting. When he understood what Islam, these people came from Jahiliyyah. Yeah. All of them were converts. You racist Arabs or whatever, Pakistanis, whatever, you racist people.
Hey, my people, man.
Yeah. They say, you convert.
Next show, is Sadiq anti...
Does he? Anti-Brown?
That's going to be the next week?
No.
Because, we are racists everywhere, man.
So I'm walking into the masjid, and the brother said, I think I don't know if he was, I ain't gonna say he was drunk. I'm gonna say he bumped his head on the way to the masjid, whatever. So he said, the Arabs are the best. The Arabs are the best. I said, okay, if the Arabs are the best and you don't eat the ummah, I say, go handle the Jews in Palestine.
Yeah.
I say, now you're on your own. Go handle the Jews in Palestine. Yeah. I say, you're not doing a good job so far.
Yeah. It's amazing how Muhammad sallam, if you can remember the hadith, that if you speak Arabic, you actually Arab.
Are an Arab,
not based on region. So technically, based on Muhammad sallam, I'm Arab based on that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Again, not because of subhanallah, man.
So the issue is that the Sahaba anhum were converts.
Yeah.
They some of them worship idols, some of them did the most despicable things. Yeah. Okay. But then they came to Islam and Allah washed them clean. Yeah. Not just washed them, they've been wearing thobes. The enemies of Islam wore Arab clothes. So if you think that wearing Arab clothes make you look like a Muslim, the enemies of Islam wore that.
When I see a couple of brothers, even the sister, when they wear, let's say the niqab or the kufi and thobe, that's actually Saudi culture.
Yeah.
How you call us? I mean, you can have your own style like that too. You can have your own niqab with your own style as well, but based on the custom. Does that make sense? Yeah. I'm not saying it's wrong. I mean, it's okay. You can also wear Saudi dress if you want. I love Japanese traditional clothing women.
Muhammad sallam wore clothes from other culture for other nations that were not even Muslim yet. He wore a Syrian. It was Syrian, a Yemeni. But I think it was Syrian shirt. Like this.
Yeah, even some
but he couldn't roll his sleeve up to make wudu. So he had to take the shirt off, make wudu, and then Muhammad sallam put the shirt back on. That was not in Mecca. That was not a Jazirat al-Arabiya even. It was not there.
Even Salman al-Farisi was from Persia, right?
Yeah,
he was still in his, custom and all that. Yeah.
And Bilal ibn Rabah walking around shirtless with an izar, I'm like, nobody said it in the masjid. Nobody said anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful thing when you study like society's custom and culture. I find it fascinating.
Yeah.
Good.
You learn from it.
You learn from it, right? That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "What وَمَا جَعْلْنَاكُمْ شُعُوبًا وَقَبَائِلَ إِلَّا لِتَعَارَفُوا."
Yeah.
That means we made you nations and tribes so you know each other.
Yeah.
Why? Because again, back to Islam.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right? So African Americans reaching over, lacking customs, lacking culture.
Yeah.
I'm saying kuffar. Some Muslims fall into it too because when you don't have the proper aqidah, you're still gonna be seeking. You're still gonna be seeking. You'll be like a Sikh with the turban. Yeah. You're still seeking. Okay. So what happens is that
what do you see what he did?
They look over in Africa.
Yeah.
Over 3 times the size of the United States. I don't trust these maps because Greenland, if you look at Greenland, Greenland is a smaller country.
Right, but they make it look big.
But on the map, if you read the legend of the map, it says Greenland is depicted as 9 times its regular size. Because it's a European country, so they try to make it big. I think they're lying about America. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, if you look at the map, Africa is 3 times the size of America. Okay, if you look on a map. Okay, let's say that. Okay, so African Americans not knowing where they come from, not being connected to their ancestry, which is not 99% is not their fault. Okay, they closed their eyes blindly, reached over into Africa and pulled something and said, "We're going to get our own. We don't want Christmas. We don't want this. We don't want that. Let's pull our own." So they pulled Kwanzaa, pagan holiday.
Wow. Oh, he was a pagan.
Celebrating the harvest, the gods of the harvest and all that kind of stuff. So,
wow.
so anyway, they reach over and they pull that because they want a semblance. First of all, there's no language called Africa. There's not even a place called Africa. We say Africa just to
it's a continent.
It's a continent,
Yeah.
just to locate it. We call it Africa just to locate it. But you're talking about all these countries and thousands of languages.
Those are Arab countries in Africa too.
Huh?
Those are Arab countries in Africa.
Yeah, of course.
Why don't you take that part?
So and they got Africans darker than this camera we're using right here, darker than this shirt that are Arab.
Yeah.
If you call them, "Hey, what's up, my brother?" "I am not your brother. My name is Uncle." But they actually they're this dude right here, man. Messing up the whole podcast. Contain yourself.
Hey, I didn't do that. Okay, you see what he did?
No.
They're gonna say that was racist.
Yeah, that's another thing. See, this African American thing is so thrown off, and it's so unstable. Okay, it's like Ebonics. It's unstable. I would support Ebonics if it was stable.
Yeah.
You can't. How you gonna take a test? I'm gonna be going down in the stone. How you gonna take a teacher like A? I mean, I ain't finna get the script. I ain't finna get fired. A. Everything's an A, and you can't spell. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, this African American thing is a crazy thing. That's why Rachel Dolezal, the white Jewish lady, was able to infiltrate the NAACP. You know what I'm saying? Wow. And say that she was black because there's no definition of black. You walk up to some black people and say, "What's up, my brother? ¿Qué pasó?"
Right. Yeah.
The Crown Prince of Kuwait, I don't know which one it is now, darker than me.
Yeah.
I mean, dark Arabs. They got black Chinese, man.
Yeah.
They're not on TV, but they're black Chinese. Ain't no black Russians, though. Unless you're an alcoholic. Okay. So I'm saying this African American thing, like, you don't even know who's who.
Yeah.
People are infiltrating with light skin. Allah. They're infiltrating with dark skin, and they got people saying, "Man, don't call me no African. I ain't no African. I ain't your brother. I'm from this country. I'm from that country." Because they identify with a place, with a language, with customs, with dress, with recipes, and they were not descendants of slaves in America. Even if they were descendants of slaves, they were allowed to keep their language, their custom, their food. Even the slave master ate their food and learned their language and things like that. In America, it's a whole different phenomena, and I'm telling you that this we as African Americans, ancestors of slaves, our ancestors were slaves, descendants of slaves, lost our language. We lost our deen. Most of us were Muslim coming over. We lost our language, lost our deen, lost our custom, lost our recipes. Yeah. So what recipes should we adopt? Anyone you like. Anyone you like, long as the food is halal. Adopt spices, no spices, bland. You can put raisins in a potato salad. Whatever you want to do, adopt it. Okay, what language should we adopt? The language that of Quran and Sunnah.
Yeah,
that's the language that you should adopt. Okay.
Man.
Yeah. What custom should you adopt? Pick some.
Subhanallah.
Pick some.
Subhanallah. You're saying this, but guess what? This applies to every Muslim.
Everyone. Of course.
Not just so-called African American or black. This is actually every Muslim should adopt to this. Even subhanallah, when they brought the slave from those regions, some of them were speaking. One of them is in the Congress. He's defending his Quran. He wrote the Quran.
Some prisoners wrote Quran all on their prison walls.
Yeah, and stuff. So they were prince.
Wrote memoirs in Arabic and what they knew of Quran.
Subhanallah, So
we used to go. There was a pamphlet printed by the Shabab.
Yeah.
It said, "What has Islam done for African Americans? What has Islam done for the black man?" You would think it was a nation type pamphlet or something like that. What has Islam done for the black man? It was all pure Hakimiyya, pure Quran and Sunnah. Okay, if you went to the inside, not just the cover.
Yeah.
The cover was because we were going to pass them out at the Martin Luther King march. Okay, so after they finished their march, they will march to a certain place.
Yeah. When
they gathered at that place, we went out as Shabab, Du'at, and we passed out these pamphlets and had discussions with these people, right? People that we used to hang around with sometimes. People we knew. People that tried to kill me. People I tried to kill. People that stabbed me. People I stabbed them. They shot me. I shot them back.
Back and forth.
I shot them back. Yeah.
Back and forth.
So anyway, now I'm Muslim. I'm passing out pamphlets. We're talking about discussing deen with them. What has Islam done for the black man? But if you open it up, like the brother said, you could white out black and put white, Asian, African.
That applies to
all. White. I mean, Russian. You could put whatever and replace black because it was all hakimiyya. And that's why the brother's saying that no matter where you come from or where you are, you can adopt Islam and keep your recipes. Long as the meat is halal, you can keep your recipes. You can keep this. You can keep that. Yeah, your customs. You keep your own language, but you can also add this language to it. Yeah. You can also add this. That's why I like my daughters in this daycare. They're learning Spanish. Yeah. It's good. I like that they're learning Spanish. It increases.
Because what happened? There's another word when I was in college. I studied there's something called third culture. That people that are born and raised, let's say they are Mexican, but they also take some of this Americanism. Yeah. Mix it up. They call it third culture. One of the conversations that me and another brother was asking me, like, there are some situations where the father is, let's say, black. I'm talking about black American, right?
Black to black.
Yeah, who marries, let's say, an Arab. Or let's say a black sister who marries a Pakistani. So when the children are born, you call them black or you call them Pakistani? What happens there?
You're at the racist term, right? Blackistani.
Yeah, Blackistani.
Yeah. They use it. They actually
really?
I mean, like, I talked to Pashtun sister. She was telling me about. Yeah. But I've heard it. Remember that guy, Preacher Moss, that comedian? Yeah. He's Muslim. Yeah. So he goes to the convention. Yeah. And he's giving a stand up. He said, "Can I get an amen?" The Muslim said, "Amen." They don't know. They Desi and they don't know about that stuff. Yeah. She's like, "Can I get an amen?" They say, "Amen." They didn't know what they was doing. This dude basically tried to have church among Muslims. Right. So anyway, but part of that, when he was being introduced, the MC says that we're gonna bring on Preacher Moss in a minute. I'd like to tell y'all a story. Muslims, sometimes we cross cultures and we integrate and we marry. Things like that. He said this one black guy married a Pakistani sister and they had a child. I guess it's Blackistani.
And that's what's so funny. That's what's
it was all crickets.
Yeah.
Like,
don't understand what's going on.
This kid just make a racist? Yeah. But anyway.
I guess you would just be black.
Bangladestani, Arabistani.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right? But you see what happened? Again, Quran and Sunnah, man. Quran and Sunnah, that's it. That's what defines us. I mean, we know the reality, but that shouldn't be the only thing. Because I was giving an example, like, let's say, inshallah ta'ala, the ummah will come back to the state on the Manhaj al-Nabuwah, right? Yeah. When that state comes back, let's say it's in Norway. All right? Yeah. We're supposed to do hijrah, right? Yeah. Well, how y'all going to feel about it? Yeah. All right?
If you holding on to that past, you're going to be like, I'm not going to go around all these white folks, these white Muslims. Like, nah. No, you can't have that.
Well, remember Al-Hajj Malik Shabazz, Malcolm X had the same experience. He had a perception that this is our struggle. White people can't help, so on and so forth. He said one of his regrets after making Hajj was that this white student at Harvard. Yeah. Well, Oxford or Harvard, one of those.
Ivy League University.
Ivy University. She stood up and said, "How can we help? Yeah. These people are very. Do you know Underground Railroad would not exist without white people? Yeah. Do you know the escaped slaves and abolition and all that? White people were instrumental in that. Yeah. That's called Nusra. Yes. They have the material support.
But nobody wants to talk about it.
Yeah. White people are very they were very instrumental in that. Yeah. So we praise Harriet Tubman. Mashallah, she was more man than a lot of men are today. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But at the same time, we have to understand that good people come in all shades and colors and sizes and so on and so forth. Even understandings. I'm saying that good people. Allah talks about the Nasara, the Christians that would hear Allah's signs and they would start to cry. Right, yeah. These Christians, they would hear Quran, they would start to cry.
Sincere one.
I remember I had already took Shahada. I had just took Shahada. Yeah. And I heard the adhan. I cried like a broad. I cried like
that. Hey, did you make the tear go back? Go back?
No, but check it out though. No, I actually cried like a man. I said,
He like Denzel on that one movie when he had the little tear come down.
Let's go back. No, he cried like Tyrone. That's what he cried like, man.
Tyrone been wanting coffee.
Yeah, Tyrone been wanting coffee. You know?
So anyway, Islam has its own hadara. Islam has its own culture. Okay, don't confuse it with customs and habits that people have that you adopt. Okay, the soul food is death. Now, when one person said, well, you know, black people are 2.5 whatever percent or higher to be affected by COVID than any other. I say, does that include black Cubans? Does that include black Arabs? Does that include black Chinese?
Who made that statement? Because that sounds racist.
No. That's statistics.
It is?
Yeah, African Americans are impartially affected by this COVID thing. If it exists,
okay. Right?
Bro. Look at the deaths. Heart disease, respiratory.
Yeah, so that means the other factors then.
COVID related. Yeah. Related.
The other factors.
Yeah, there's other factors.
So that's what I'm understanding.
So I'm like, is it the black Arabs, black Chinese, black Asian, black this, black that, or is it just African Americans? I say, and if it's only African Americans, can it be tied to their lifestyle and diet?
That's what I'm trying to get into. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I wouldn't say COVID is targeting. No, I wouldn't say that. That's although I think Bill Gates has something to do with
COVID is racist.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, so Islam has its own hadar. Islam has its own culture, and that is not Arab culture.
Correct.
The Arabs dressed like that before Islam.
Yep.
They did not change the way they dressed. Muhammad Sallam wore clothing from other nations that were not Muslim.
Yep.
That is not. Islam only forbids us a dress that identifies a different aqidah.
Yeah.
I cannot wear a priestly collar and give a khutbah. I cannot, a Muslim woman can't wear a nun's habit, and be identified, look like a nun. You have to dress a modest way differently than that, okay? Mm-hmm. Because it identifies an aqidah. Islam is its own unique aqidah. Islam is its own culture. I invite you, if you're not Muslim, to Islam. Yeah. And if you are Muslim, I invite you to really embrace Islam. Into Islam completely, wholeheartedly. The Madaniyah, the customs of the civilization, and the customs of that civilization, usually tangible.
Yeah.
Okay. Or the earth, I said the habits, the customs.
Tradition,
customs.
Yeah.
Seen as Islam when it comes to Arab. Okay. But the ones that tried to kill the Rasul, remember the different tribes. How many tribes? There were several tribes. They all came together and said, the shaitan came. They were having a meeting. How do we deal with this Muhammad? People are making the hijrah. How do we deal with him? Okay. The shaitan came to them as a man and claimed to be from them and to know them. Yeah. Shaitan came in the form of a man. He said, why don't you all go in? One from each tribe.
Yeah.
And put a dagger into him as he sleeps in his house, in his home. The shaitan suggested that. So they said, man, why don't we think of this? Because Allah blocked you up from thinking about it. Allah protected the Rasul, Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So they walked into the room, pulled the covers back, Ali and laying down in the bed of the Rasul, Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Okay, so they all wanted to put the death blow. Guess what they were wearing? Sunnah clothes. They were all wearing Sunnah clothes. I like those.
What is
easy access, baby?
Pause. What is that Sunnah clothes, man? Like how do you define it, man?
Bruh, if I walk in the masjid with the karate suit, with the black belt, they'll say mashallah.
I love the karate suit.
They'll say mashallah.
I even love the samurai suit.
I'm just saying, bruh. Indians, the Indian two-piece, the kameez and the bruh, Sunnah. All of a sudden, Sunnah. Africans come with the they got to throw it. They throw it. Right. The Senegalese brother.
I love the colorful.
They throw it up. Yeah,
very nice. I love the colorful.
When they say the African, they say Sunnah. They're not even clear on what Sunnah is. Yeah. Then they see the Saudi thobe, which Muhammad Sallam never wore. Right. Muhammad Sallam never wore Saudi thobe. That stiff neck. That's why Saudis walk like this.
Anyway, thing where they got with the wrap around.
Shamag and Kofi and Egal. Yeah.
They had something similar. Similar. They have the.
Well, you see,
they didn't have the.
No. Making it rain.
They didn't have that.
Yeah. Subhanallah. But yeah, that's good. Let's get to the last one before we.
Okay, so African Americans can only find meaningfulness, right? Therapy and recovery and purposeful reason to be, purposeful life and reason to be through Islam. Yeah. Through Islam. That's the only remedy for African Americans. I mean, we've been traumatized. Slavery is still in the books, it's still on film, and it is traumatizing. How can a people treat another people like that?
Yeah.
How? These are not white people. These are kuffar, okay? These are kuffar, okay? And they're the most evil of kuffar, okay? So you can say white people, and I joke, I say white people and things like that. Like when I say I want a white woman, I don't really mean white woman. I just mean a woman that's white. Okay.
That was like a
double entendre.
Pandora box of Pandora. This is like a so like mind blown.
So again, African Americans can only find meaningfulness, therapy, recovery, a purposeful life, a reason to be through Islam. Yeah. I invite you all to embrace Islam and release that trash that you are upon. And I say that with total respect.
Yeah.
Trash. Okay? Because it holds you down, it keeps you back, and it depresses you. And when you're depressed, your movement is limited. Your mind limits your movement when you're oppressed.
Like the victimhood mentality again. That's what it becomes, unfortunately.
I mean, even though you're a victim, though you are a victim,
but there is a solution.
But victimhood mentality is different.
Different.
It's different. Okay.
Two different things.
I got hit by a car. It happened to be a Chevy. I'll still buy a Chevy. So anyway, and I have never met a pro-black. We'll talk about this another time.
Yeah.
I've never met a pro-black Muslim that had the proper aqidah, and that goes for your favorite sheikh. I've never met a pro-black Muslim that had the proper aqidah, because Arumi, was from Rome. That's only to locate him where he's from. Bilal radiallahu anhu, Huma, both of them, he was from Abyssinia.
Yeah.
They call him the Abyssinian. Why? To locate him. Okay, to geographically locate him. It didn't define him.
Even if you look at the traditional scholars in the past, when you see like Lasim al-Baghdadi, or Dimashqi,
Bukhari,
or Bukharistan, Ahl Medina, to show the amazing knowledge of these locations that they used to have and how they used to communicate, right? Because nation state didn't exist back then.
It was not a sense of pride.
Yeah.
It was not a sense of pride.
Yeah.
Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there's a war happening, right? The Ghazwat al-Khandaq or whatever it was at that particular time, and some people of Medina got slain. Muhajirun, they got slain.
Yeah.
Ansar got slain.
Yeah.
Then some of the Muhajirun from Mecca got slain. Yeah. So one of the Munafiqun said, Oh Ansar, some of your people have died. Come and bury them.
Yeah.
Oh Muhajirun, some of your people have died. Trying to make what's called shaqaq al-ummah. Trying to split the ummah.
Yeah.
So Muhammad heard this. He said,
Da'uha
فَإِنَّهَا مُنَاتِنَا. He said, ma hada.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ma hada. He said, it's muntin. He said, it is rotten. He said, leave it off, for verily it is rotten. It's putrid. It stinks.
Yeah.
Okay? Leave it off. This talk that divides people. You say, well, I'm an African American Muslim, and like that one sister said to the white Muslim that was cow tying to her, cow tying.
Yeah.
She said that if you white, I don't care if you Muslim. Yeah. If you don't support Black Lives Matter, you need to be cut off. Yeah. Like really?
SubhanAllah.
Really?
It's very sad.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
I like what shahada did you take?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I bet witness that Martin Luther King had a big ass head. I mean, what shahada did you take? You know what I'm saying?
And this is the problem.
There's only one Negro. I mean, what shahada did you take?
I didn't say that, okay?
I'm like, it's crazy because it comes from people that supposed to believe in La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah.
But that's what I'm saying. The shahada did not change their ideological thinking.
Yeah, so it didn't take.
It didn't take because it's like you're a Baptist moving to Methodist, basically.
Yeah.
That's all that happened. Like just like another religion, but Islam is not a religion, man. That's why it's very. I don't like this term. I don't like to put Islam religion because religion has its own definition. Yeah. When we say Islam is a complete way of life, I mean it deals with every aspect. That's why sometimes deen means hisab, yamuddin, right? Yeah. Sometimes deen means the whole of Islam. Yeah. And sometimes deen means the ibadat, the spiritual part of thing, or the rituals, right? But that's what Islam is. I don't like to. That's why I don't like to put them under those categories of other religions. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Hey, you got to comment. You got to give your opinion. We respect your opinion. We're gonna deal with your opinion. We call it the recap, clap back, react. Inshallah, Wednesday, 7 Eastern, 8 Eastern, no 8
7
Eastern,
Central.
7 Central, and specific. Specific is fine.
Specific.
Yeah, because I'm black, I can do that.
Yeah.
So now we move on because we're gonna continue this. We know it's a heavy issue. I know a lot of people are going to disagree. Feel free to disagree. Let's agree that Allah is God, Muhammad is his messenger. Let's agree on that. Yeah. Then we can move. Now we are about to shake our Muslim head. His brother has something on that.
Yeah, I just want to share. This is something like Subhanallah. How can I just share the screen real quick?
You know how to share the screen?
No,
Screen.
I forgot, but this is connected to the camera.
Oh,
but
yeah.
the point is, this brother Muhammad Shirazi posted this. 7 years have passed since Sheikh Suleiman Al-Alawan was arrested and imprisoned in Saudi. So just don't forget, to make dua for them, because there's so many shuyukh.
Zoom in on yourself real quick. You can do that. No, I'm saying why you're doing it.
Yeah, like what do you mean zoom? I can.
Oh, you can't make it just on you while you do this.
Well, the thing is, I can't even share the screen. So
okay, go ahead.
Unfortunately, but his name is Sheikh Suleiman Al-Alawan. He's been in prison almost 7 years in Saudi, and there's so many shuyukh that speak the haqq, and unfortunately, these corrupt leaders are, imprisoning them for injustice. What I like about the Sheikh, that he's made an amazing statement that verily it is aqidah and firmness in principles what builds men, right, and plants courage in them and makes them loyal to their principle, which is the aqidah. Okay. But that's what the Sheikh Suleiman, may Allah make it easy on him. And it's kind of very sad that we see this sort of thing, but yet we have shuyukh that are quiet about it.
How many are in the estimate? Like over 300?
Well, actually,
more than
I don't
that.
know the exact number, but it's more than.
This is in the Saudi prison, the ones that say the ulama or warathatul anbiya, they are the inheritors of the prophethood, that the flesh is poison.
Yeah.
If you talk bad about them, they have a lot of very good, strong ulama in prison because they don't support the shenanigans
regimes,
of that regime. But we got a whole.
May Allah help them. I mean, recently, even with Salman al-Aud, unfortunately, his son basically said that he lost his vision, and there's you never know what kind of torture they're going through.
Yeah, they're going
through.
May
Allah help them,
And they were taught by the CIA, so they know torture. It's not even our Islamic Aqidah to learn how to pluck fingernails and cut fingers and put hairline cuts upon people and things in the bottom of their feet and under their armpits, and the way the CIA taught the Muslims how to torture. It's not from our custom. What type of human being, what type of animal, what type of animal, what type of beast practices torturing human beings? And this is what they're going through. They're not just locked up. They're being treated very, very harsh. The CIA is behind it. The same ones that are reorganizing the textbooks of the Muslim youth in Saudi Arabia. The same ones that are that encourage them to buy the rights to certain scholarly works of the past. Put them on digital text or whatever you call it. Highlight whole paragraphs, delete, reprint. So certain things that ulama said in the past, you'll never get it unless you got the old books. You got to have the old book, because the newer books they're printing, they're deleting whole passages that go against the Saudi way of ruling, which is kufr. Okay, so for that, the Saudi government oppressing that sheikh, great sheikh, and many other shuyukh that are very, very sincere, many ulama that are sincere, that are really inheritors of prophethood, those who enjoy right and forbid wrong. For that Saudi regime, we're shaking our Muslim head. All right. So before we go, I got to give a shout out.
Give a shout out.
Now, shout out is from the African American culture.
Okay.
If we're not shooting at you,
right,
we're gonna shout you out.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm good.
And also,
I'm not scared.
Shout out also means Majnoon.
Yeah.
It means all that. Yeah, it means you shout out. You shot.
I learned something new today.
Yeah, Majnoon.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Custom. Habit. Yeah.
Tradition.
I don't want to do a whole show to make fun.
Yeah.
It's not a culture. It's not. African Americans do not have a culture. Islam is a culture. I invite you to embrace it. This shout out is to Ibn Wade, the owner of Kufi Kings. Okay.
Yeah.
His brother, man, I don't even know the brother. So before he even made the Kufis, right? But when he told me they were made, he sent me a picture. and I sent the brother money. And you know how sometimes, even among Muslims, I hate to say it,
Right.
a lot of scammers, man. You know,
Oh, yeah, man.
and you'll send them money, and you won't even get a good return back. And I don't know what y'all pay for kufis, but I'm gonna tell you, when you're dealing with Muslim business, I don't care if they double what the
I think
kufa
we
charge.
should, yeah.
You should support them.
Yeah, we shouldn't do that Muslim discount.
Yeah,
thing,
don't do the shahada discount.
Yeah.
If a Muslim charges you double, I bought these for $5. These are custom, okay? I bought this for $5 from somebody else. Not this one, but like this from somebody else. You go to a bazaar at a convention, you'll see it $5, $4. Yeah. If you buy two, you get 2 for $8.
Yeah.
You know, 3 for $7, all this kind of stuff. So the brother, I paid this to him, and he also made this. This, mashallah, this is.
So it looks so comfortable.
This is the yarn and whatever else material this is.
Yeah.
Mashallah. His brother Ibn Wade, get with this brother.
It matches your brand, man.
This, red kufi used to be a blood. Nah, I ain't gotta do
that. not that brand.
He made the logo with the red. I think, did I say red?
Yeah.
Okay, because the logo was blue. It has some black in it. So I say, well, make the kufi define.
Stands out.
Yeah, make it stand out. And he put red kufi. So on the show, I have to wear kufi. I'm compelled.
I put it because of the blood, so I can put it in trap.
It's darura.
I can trap him.
Okay. Now this one is yarn and it has this material in between. I don't know what the material is. The brother could better explain it.
It looks very comfortable.
Ibn Wade at Kufi Kings. Get with the brother. Okay.
Yeah.
This one right here is like this one. It's thin.
It's very comfortable.
But look how thick this one is. Mashallah. This is thick. This is heavy. It's heavy and it's thick. Mashallah. It's such good quality. You get those kufis that unravel. Now, I'm bigging the brother up. Mashallah.
Yeah.
You get those kufis that unravel. The brother even glued it where it can't unravel. The red when I started the podcast with, when I first started unraveling already. I got that from a Negro hair shop. Okay, so
you mean the ninjas, right?
The brother, mashallah, he does good work, and I don't care if you think it's too expensive for these three. I paid $55. I sent them $57 on Cash App. I appreciate the brother. He got my business. I support him.
We should put his link somewhere in the comments.
Yeah. So inshallah, we'll put something in the comments. It's Ibn Wade at Kufi Kings. I have his business card. I didn't bring it though. But
when you mentioned his name, I thought it was a gangster.
see what I'm talking about?
I want to get beat up right now after this.
And I think one custom that African Americans need to leave alone.
Yeah.
Chitlins.
What?
Y'all leave chitlins alone, man. Stay away from pork, man. Leave that custom alone.
Well, I mean, every time they're more susceptible to hypertension and heart disease, and every time they get sick, what does the doctor say? Leave alone the salt and the pork.
Can't leave it alone.
But you got to get sick first, because see, the doctors. That's next episode.
Yeah.
Who's taking the virus? Who's taking the?
We
want to do it? Let's do it.
Are you sure?
I think we should do it.
Is it too early?
No. It's just who's taking it. Like we're not saying don't take it.
Oh, okay.
We're saying who's taking it and what are your reasons for not taking it. They can't stop us from doing that.
Oh, that's true.
I give it out. We're unprofessional.
Yeah.
We're not medical.
We're from the street.
Yeah. We are. He's from the streets of Bangladesh. You can't even get a car. Bumps. Anyway, so we can talk about it. We can talk about who's going to take the shot. Okay. You know.
Yeah.
We're not technical. We just put it out there.
Thoughts.
Who's going to take the shot? Just some thoughts.
Yeah.
So don't try to ban us. Zuckerberg.
Facebook and YouTube and all those
Zuckerberg.
guys. Yeah, Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg. Berg. Say, oh, that word is banned. No, you can't ban Zuckerberg. Not in your name, Zuckerberg. Anyway, so that's the shout out, and we went
137.
Mashallah, for a long time.
140.
See how much we love black people?
Yeah.
We went even longer than any other episode.
Yeah.
Because we love you people.
Except me. So.
And we're sponsored. Today's episode is sponsored by Cocoa Butter.
Yeah, I'm on cocoa butter and sell it to you guys.
Shea butter,
It's a market, you see? Yeah. I know how to target the audience.
And he has contact with slave labor, the ones that make y'all Nikes that y'all stand in long line and PS5s and iPhones. You know, he has contact with the slave labor.
Yep.
That y'all buy that 65-cent shoe for $165 and $300.
So you enable the cycle.
Yeah, they're able to cycle, man.
Yeah, what goes around comes around. By the way, be careful.
Muslims need to have their own shoes, like tennis shoes with the toes out.
For a second, I thought you were serious. Actually, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start
with
that.
the toes out.
Yeah, I'm gonna start that. You know, maybe like wudu'able.
Wuduable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like wudu. Oh, wudu.
Amoo.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be like, oh, man, it's going to be nice, man.
And when you walk in the masjid, brother going to say,
What if it comes as a khuf? Ooh. The khuf. You know, like,
SubhanAllah.
step it out. It became like a khuf.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Hey.
See?
We're all about ideas here.
Yep.
MashaAllah. So,
Alhamdulillah.
we're going to close out. We'll say thanks to shukran to our guest, Amoo Dion, always our technical engineer imported from Bangladesh.
He just got from the street. I was walking on the street. Just got me. You come here.
Hey, you look like you know something.
Yeah. You look at those IT people.
You have a skin tone that.
Yeah.
A technical skin tone.
Skin tone.
So,
MashaAllah, there are a lot of good comments too. Inshallah.
Amoo Yusuf, MashaAllah. I am your host, Amoo Yum Yum. And we are out of here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa barakatuh. And don't forget to share and click and subscribe.
Subscribe.
Ma'as salam.